Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I hope you are doing well. Congratulations on passing the first term, and I hope inshallah that this term you are going to improve and your marks are going to be better in all of your courses. Just like the first term, we have also in this term 5 units. Each unit has 4 skills. The first 2 skills are discussed with you by the professor in the lecture, and the second 2 are discussed with me in the sections. Unit 1, we have the skill of assessing feasibility. It means determining the easiness of doing something. Feasibility means the possibility of doing something. Like if you have a project, you have the idea of a robotic machine that has the ability to do the so and so procedures. If this project can be achieved, then it's feasible. If your idea can be achieved, then it is feasible. This is the meaning of feasibility. Okay, how do we assess feasibility? How do we determine if this thing is easy or not? We have some idioms and expressions to describe feasibility. Idioms, if you remember, we took some of them in the first term. Idioms are the words who cannot be translated literally. الأمثلة ما نقدرش ان احنا ناخد كل كلمة مع بعضها ونترجمها لوحدها لان كده مش هنطلع بكلمة. المثل بيترجم كامل كده على بعض، بيتاخد زي ما هو، ما ينفعش نترجمه حرفي كل كلمة لوحدها، مش هيطلع المعنى المظبوط. So we have idioms and expressions to describe feasibility عشان نوصف سهولة حاجة. The first one we have, or the first degree of feasibility, is okay. In feasibility we have 3 degrees. Okay if it's feasible enough to be done، لو هي حاجة تمام ينفع تتعمل وينفع تبقى سهلة. Or perfectly feasible، تتعمل بكل سهولة. Or not feasible، ما تنفعش تتعمل خالص. 3 degrees: if it's okay, perfect, or not feasible. Okay? Now the first expression we have is painstaking. Painstaking is a compound word. كلمة مركبة من كلمتين تانيين. Painstaking and painstaking. Now, painstaking, the expression, means done with great care and thoroughness. لما الحاجة بنعملها بعناية شديدة. So which one of these compounds is the correct one? هل الكلمة painstaking بتتألف من الكلمة painstaking ولا painstaking؟ بتتألف من الأولى. الأولى معناها painstaking. It means that you take the pain to do something in a good way. But the second one, painstaking, means that you hold up the pain when you are doing something. It means that this thing you do is difficult. يبقى تاني واحدة دي اللي هي painstaking معناها ان انت الحاجة دي صعبة، فدي غلط، مش هي الصح. انما الاولى هي الكومباوند بتاعت painstaking يعني انت بتتحمل الألم علشان تعمل حاجة كويس. Okay, like in this example, we have designers usually do the jobs with painstaking attention to details. And this word painstaking is adjective. المصممين بيعملوا شغلهم باهتمام بعناية إلى التفاصيل، بعناية كبيرة واهتمامهم للتفاصيل. painstaking attention، بيهتموا بعناية بالتفاصيل. Okay, can we only use painstaking to describe the attention of a person? Of course not. It's not just formal. ما هيش بس بتستخدم في السياق الرسمي. We can use it in other words, like in this one. Get it over with already. Wait a minute, it's just the eyeliner. You do it painstakingly that you give me the feeling you're defusing a bomb. So this is a person, this is a girl or a woman who is putting makeup. She's taken forever to do this. So someone tells her to just finish. Of course, if you are a girl, you know that the eyeliner is very tricky to do. So he tells her that you're doing it painstakingly, that he thinks you're doing something important. So painstakingly here is an adverb. You can use it in other contexts. Okay, can we use painstaking to describe people or projects? Yes, we can. We have this one. He is a painstaking craftsman. So here we describe the person. We can say, like in the designer, in the first one, he is a painstaking designer. It means that he have great care of what he do or what he does. He is a painstaking craftsman. Okay, the next one, it's a painstaking research. If you are doing a research, a PhD or a master's degree, some people may describe it as painstaking. It means that you did it with great care and thoroughness. This is the meaning of painstaking. Okay, the next expression is stretching it. Like in this example, to say he is a good player is acceptable, but to compare him to Cristiano Ronaldo is stretching it. Stretching it means to describe something as large or greater than it really is. We have some people who say that this player is better than this one, and they compare them to legends. So we call this stretching it. If you described something greater than it really is, then it's stretching it. Like exaggerating. This is the meaning of stretching it. Okay, the next word, borderline. Borderline is an intermediate position between two opposite things. حالة متوسطة بين حاجتين مختلفتين. يعني احنا عندنا أبيض وأسود. البوردرلاين هو الرصاصي بقى اللي في النص. Like in this sentence, people think that Togomori is in a borderline when he solves cases. Togomori بتاع كونان بيفكروا ان هو بيبقى نايم ومش نايم. هو نايم اساسا بالفعل، ولكن هو بيفكروا ان هو نايم ومش نايم، فحالة بين الاتنين كده. So this is borderline. People think that Togomori is in a borderline when he solves cases. Also, borderline, we have a disorder. عندنا حالة كده نفسية اسمها borderline personality disorder. Those are the people who think in extremes. أفكارهم يا إما فوق قوي يا إما تحت قوي، ما عندهمش حاجة في النص. If one person deals with them in a friendly way, they're going to love him and adore him. If a different person treats them in a bad way, they are going to want to kill him. So they do not have gray. It's either black or white. So borderline means an intermediate position between two opposite things. Tall order. Tall order means that something that is very difficult to do. This is tall order. It's very difficult to do, but it's not impossible. So this again lies in the feasibility of something that's possible to do. Tall order. Again, it means that something is very difficult to do. Getting the project done on schedule is going to be a tall order. إن احنا نسلم المشروع في الميعاد هيبقى حاجة مش سهلة ولكن مش مستحيلة. So this is the feasibility of the thing. يبقى احنا لما بنيجي نوصف الفيزيبيليتي بتاعت حاجة، سهولة عمل حاجة، ان هي اوكي ما هيش سهلة قوي ولكن ممكن نعملها، عندنا 4 تعبيرات. اول واحدة painstaking. It means that to be done in carefulness and thoroughness, And number 2, stretching it. It means okay, you exaggerated. انت بتبالغ بس تمام هتنفع برضه. borderline حاجة في النص. feasibility is okay. ما هياش صعبة قوي ولا هي سهلة قوي. and tall order صعبة تتعمل ولكن مش مستحيلة, so it is okay. It's feasible. We can do it. Okay, the next degree of feasibility is perfect. Something that can be done so easily. We have some expressions. Number 1 is dead easy. When you tell someone that this something is dead easy, it means that you can do it even if you're asleep. Like in this one, count on me, this job is dead easy. It's so easy, it's so feasible. Number 6, cost peanuts. If you want a better performance, you should try AMD. Compared to Intel, it costs peanuts. في اللابتوب والحاجات دي في طبعا انتل كور والاي ام دي اللي هي رايزن والحاجات دي. cost peanuts means that it costs less money, that you buy it with less money. This is the meaning of cost peanuts. الاي ام دي حاجة جديدة في اللابتوبس, المفروض بتعطي قوة كبيرة ولكن بسعر اقل من الانتل كور. يبقى لما انت تيجي تقارب من حاجتين, cost peanuts, it means that it is so much less in money. So again, it's perfectly feasible. If you describe something as cost peanuts, it means that it is perfectly feasible. The other thing, perfectly feasible. So this is the word itself, perfectly feasible. It means that you can do it easily. It's perfectly feasible to finish the project at time. Okay. Now we have the other degree of feasibility, which is not. It's not feasible at all. The first one is cost an arm and a leg. Now this is an idiom. ده بقى مثل. لو احنا جينا نترجمها كده لوحدها بتكلف دراع ورجل. هنفهم حاجة؟ لا. So this is an idiom. You should not translate it literally. So, cost an arm and a leg. The new laptop I want would cost me an arm and a leg. It means that it is so much money that I would not be able to afford it. Cost an arm and a leg. You would not be able to afford it. This is the meaning of it. Be extremely expensive. So it's not feasible. And cost an arm and a leg تستخدم بس لما نيجي نتكلم عن سعر حاجة. سعر حاجة فقط. Cost an arm and a leg. زي في العربي كده احنا عندنا اللي هي دافع فيها دم قلبي. So this is the main thing. Number 9, no way. If you want to attend the lecture, sleep early. There is no way you would wake up early this way. مستحيل. لو انت عايز تحضر المحاضرة نام بدري, لان انت مستحيل تصحى بدري بالطريقة دي. So no way, it's not feasible at all. The third one is takes forever. اللي هي عمرها ما هتحصل, يعني اللي هتاخد للأبد كده عشان تخلص. If we paint the parts of the machine by a brush, it will take forever. لو احنا جينا ندهن أجزاء المكنة أو أي حاجة احنا بنصنعها بالبرش بالفرشة, it will take forever. So it's not feasible. يبقى احنا هنا نقول تاني. When we are discussing or assessing the feasibility of something, we have 3 degrees. If it's feasible, if it's perfectly feasible, or if it's not feasible. If it's feasible, we have 4 expressions. The first expression is painstaking, which means that you do it with great carefulness and thoroughness. The next one is stretching it. Yes, you are exaggerating, you are giving it a greater type than it really is, but okay, it's feasible. Number 3, borderline. It's something in between. It's not perfectly feasible and it's not totally feasible, not feasible. And number 4, tall order, it means it's difficult to achieve, but yes, it could be done. So this is the first degree, that okay, it's feasible. The next degree is perfect. It's perfectly feasible. We have 3 expressions to describe something as perfectly feasible. Dead easy means it's so easy to be done. The next one is cost peanuts. It is so much less in money. And the 7th one is perfectly feasible, as it is perfectly feasible. Now the 3rd degree is not feasible at all. We have also 3 expressions. Cost an arm and a leg. It costs so much money. It's extremely expensive, so you cannot afford it. 9, no way. No way is going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not feasible. And number 10, takes forever. Okay, we have another expression that is not okay or perfectly feasible or not feasible. It depends. Safe bet. زي رهان آمن. دي تبقى على حسب، ما هياش اوكي ولا perfect ولا not feasible، على حسب هنستخدم فيها ايه. يعني ايه؟ اول جملة مثلا based on his grades it is a pretty safe bet that Harry won't be able to graduate in time. هنا استخدم pretty. لو انتوا فاكرين برضو الترم اللي فات كنا استخدمنا adverb degree. ف pretty لما بتيجي مع حاجة توصفها معناها انها محتملة لدرجة بعيدة، زي perfectly safe bet. يبقى in pretty safe bet دي معناها انها perfect. انا عاملاها بالازرق كمان زي ما احنا عاملين التانية. يبقى safe bet, if we describe safe bet as being pretty safe bet, then it is perfectly feasible. Okay, in the next one, it's probably a safe bet to think that Real Madrid is going to reach the final. Probably, it means that it may happen and it may not happen. So probably gave the safe bet expression the idea of feasibility in the degree is that it's okay. يبقى safe bet على حسب الكلمة اللي جاية توصفها، على حسب الادverb اللي جاي يوصفها. لو pretty هتبقى perfectly feasible، سهلة جدا انها تتعمل. probably هتبقى ان ممكن او لا، يبقى okay. You get it? Okay, I hope you understood this. Now we are going to move to the book. Okay, so we have assessing feasibility. Of course you don't have the book yet, but before the term started, Dr. Hannah talked with your program and determined some exercises and omitted some other exercises that would not be fit for an MCQ exam. يعني انتوا مش هتلاقوا تمارين كتير زي اللي معروضة قدامكم دي، هيبقى قدامكم التمارين اللي احنا هنحلها فقط، لان في تمارين مش مناسبة لامتحان MCQ، فالدكتورة هتشيلهم وقالت لبرامجكم انهم يشيلوها من الكتاب. Okay, so we are going to start with 8A. Discuss what is meant by feasibility. We discussed it. We said that feasibility means the possibility of doing something. And we have 3 degrees. Feasible, it's possible to be done. Not feasible. And perfectly feasible. Okay. Now we are going to move to 9C, but before C I want to discuss number B. I want to discuss with you the 3 meanings of these words: cost, precision, and time scale. In any of the projects that you inshallah are going to be with in your second years and the next years, any project you are going to achieve, you have to look for 3 things: the cost, the precision, and the time scale. The cost in terms of how much would it cost. The project that you want to do, how much would it cost you? The next thing is precision. Are the procedures you are going to follow are accurate? Precision معناها الدقة. هل الخطوات اللي انت هتاخدها في المشروع اللي انت بتعمله ده هتبقى بدقة؟ ثالث حاجة time scale. is the time allowed for each process to be done accurately is enough. هل الوقت اللي معاك عشان تخلص المشروع ده هيسمح لك ان انت يبقى عندك precision ودقة لما تيجي تعمله؟ These are 3 things that you should look for in any project. Okay, now we are going to move to 9C. Since you do not have the book, I would just show you the script of this conversation, and we are supposed to answer the 9D questions. So this is the conversation. But before going through the conversation, we are going to discuss some meanings. The first one is performing. Okay, we can say it in Arabic. لما بنيجي نعمل الخرسانة قبل ما نعمل الحيطة ونحط الأسمنت والحاجات دي، مكان التيوبس اللي هي لما مثلا الناس بتيجي تعمل حمام بيحطوا التيوب بتاعة الحمام بيحطوها في الحيطة. في ناس بتبقى عارفة حجم التيوب دي قد ايه ويقوموا جايين محوطينها بالخرسانة بالحجم اللي هم عاوزينه ويحطوا الأسمنت بقى، فتبقى الحتة دي فاضية وجاهزة ان احنا نحط التيوب فيها اول ما نبني الحيطة، لان كده كده الحتة دي حوطوها بخرسانة فهي خلاص كله اتملى بالأسمنت ما عدا الحتة دي. طيب في ناس تانية بقى بتعمل الحيطة عادي كلها وبعدين بتخرم علشان تحط الأنبوبة التيوب، فهو ده اللي هما بيتكلموا عنه. They are discussing whether to use plastic tubes and perform the cement before casting the wall قبل ما يحطوا الحيطة, or they should use core drilling. This is the core drilling. Core drilling means that you use الدريلر المنشار عادي زي ما هو، بس يبقى فيها كور كده حاجة محاوطة بيه, and when you put it on the wall and you start drilling, it gets out some of the cement and some of the concrete of the wall. So they are discussing this, whether to use plastic tubes and fill the rest of the wall in cement, or they should use the core drilling after they cast the walls. So as I said, we have some words. Core drilling, we said what it is. 20 mil. Now, mil is a measurement, a type of measurement, a unit of measurement. It's not a shortened version of millimeter. المل اللي انتوا شايفينها في السكريبت دي ما هياش اختصار مليمتر. This is a totally different unit of measurement. 1 mil is 39. 1 millimeter is 39 mil. مليمتر واحد 39 مل. يعني المل دي أقل من المليمتر أصلا. So a mil is a unit of measurement that equals 10,000 of an inch. واحد من 1000 inch. Can you see how small it is? يعني 254 من 1000 مليمتر. So it's something big. It's something really small. This mil. The millimeter is a small unit, so mil is even smaller. Okay. And what else do we have? We also have cost. Cost means that when you put the walls in the building, and cement of course, and tolerance. Tolerance is the, yes, it is the high or the amount by which a measurement might change and still be acceptable. How, for example, the space of something could be changed but still be suitable for it to be inserted in something else. زي مثلا بنعمل دريل في الحيطة عادي. المسمار صغير، الخرم فيه حتة tolerance كده اللي هو ممكن نشيل المسمار الصغير ده ونحط واحد تاني أكبر منه هيدخل برضه. So this is tolerance. how the measurement can be changed but is still acceptable. This is the meaning of tolerance. And the final thing we have is play. Of course, we know that play has two meanings. As a verb, it means to play with someone, or to play video games. As a noun, it means a play, a performed play, like Shakespeare's play, like Romeo and Juliet. This is a play. Like Doll in a House. This is a play. But the other meaning of play, it means space. More space for the bolts like we had. Like the same example exactly. المساحة اللي ممكن المسمار الصغير ده يتحرك فيها في الخرم اللي احنا عملناه في الحيطة. This is the play. يبقى التوليرنس ان هل المساحة بتاعت الخرم دي هتستحمل اكتر من حجم ولا لا. والبلاي المسمار نفسه لاقي مساحة حواليه يعرف يتحرك فيها ولا لا. Okay, so we are going to begin. But first we are going to read the questions. Number 1, what are the advantages of using performed holes in terms of cost and time scale? Performed holes يعني زي ما قلنا في الأول إن احنا نحاوط الحتة اللي احنا عاوزينها تبقى فاضية وما فيهاش اسمنت بالخرسانة، فلما الاسمنت يجي يتحط خلاص الحيطة هتتبنى بس الخرم ده هيفضل موجود. Number 2, what is the main disadvantages of core drilling the holes? ايه هي الحاجة اللي مش كويسة من ناحية ان احنا لو استخدمنا الكور دريلينج؟ ان احنا خلاص بنينا الحيطة زي ما هي مفيش فيها اي حتة خالص مفتوحة، واحنا بقى اللي هنشوف احنا عايزين فين وهنحط فين ونستخدم الكور دريلينج علشان نحفر. Number 3, what tolerance can easily be achieved with performed holes? What tolerance is required for the holes in this project? What's the risk of using performed holes? And what key feasibility issue does Rajesh identify? Okay, now we are going to read. Victor says, in terms of cost, performing is obviously a lot cheaper because all you need are plastic tubes, which are cheap to buy and quick to put in. If we do it that way, it will be dead easy and it will cost peanuts. Whereas core drilling will be slow. It will be quite a painstaking job, but core drilling is more accurate, clearly. A lot more accurate. I mean, sometimes you can get away with performing. If you need to get within 20 mil, then it's perfectly feasible. 10 mil it's achievable, but it's stretching it. Anything less than 10 mil and there's no way you can do it. And what sort of tolerance are you looking for? About 10 mil. So it's borderline then. It's a tall order. The safe bet would be going for core drilling. The problem is going to be the schedule though. Exactly. I mean, to diamond drill, the number of holes we're talking about will take forever and a day, won't it? Whereas if they are performed, they would be ready as soon as the walls are cast. But if half of them are in the wrong place, it will cost an arm and a leg to put them right. Because if they are wrong, it's not just a question of drilling new ones in the right place. If they are slightly out of position, they have to be filled in, first with cement, to avoid having two holes overlapping. So putting them right is easier said than done. Sure. So as I see it, the key issue here in terms of feasibility is the tolerance. If the holes can be bigger and there's more play for the bolts, we won't have this problem. Okay, so this was the conversation. بيتكلموا ان احنا نخلي المساحة اللي احنا هنسيبها فاضية دي في الحيطة قبل ما نبنيها ونحط الاسمنت ونعملها ونجهزها، ولا بعد ما نعملها نحفرها بالكور دريلينج. وعمالين بقى يناقشوا المزايا والعيوب لكل حاجة فيها. Okay, number 1, what are the advantages of using performed holes in terms of cost and time scale? Victor said that using plastic tubes is gonna be cheap. So this is good. So again, in terms of costs, plastic tubes are cheap. And time scale, he said it's going to be quick to put in. Okay, number 2. What is the main disadvantages of cold drilling the holes? It's slow. This is what Victor said. He said, whereas cold drilling will be slow. So it's going to be slow. Okay, number 3. What tolerance can easily be achieved with performed holes? هم قارنوا بين نوعين. قالوا من 20 ملي اللي هي المل 20 mil is going to be achieved by performed holes. So this one within 20 mil. So within 20 mils can be achieved with performed holes. Number 4. What tolerance is required for the holes on this project within 10 mil? Number 5. What is the risk of using performed holes? That they are not positioned accurately. قبل ما الحيطة تتحط وتكون المسافات دي جاهزة ومخرومة الحيطة في المكان اللي احنا عايزين نحط التيوب فيه، ممكن لما الحيطة بقى تتحط مكانها وتتبنى نلاقي ان مكان الخرم غلط. So they are not positioned accurately. Number 6. What key feasibility issue does Rajesh identify? It is the tolerance. The measurement that could be changed but still be acceptable. The tolerance. يعني لو كانت المساحة المسموحة من 20 ملي كان زمانها بقت أفضل من 10 ملي. So this is the main thing. Okay. Complete the following expressions from the conversation using the words in the box and indicate the degree of feasibility each expression describes. Okay, this is what we took in the PDF in the PowerPoint. So number 1, it will be dead easy. And dead easy, we took it means perfectly feasible. Okay, number 2, it will cost peanuts. It will cost peanuts. And peanuts in the degree of feasibility, we said that it is perfectly feasible. Number 3, it will be quite a painstaking job. It will be quite a painstaking job. By the way, these are the same sentences you can find in the conversation. So it's not from your head. But this is how the expression is involved in context. So number 3, it will be quite a painstaking job. We said that painstaking has the degree of feasibility of feasible but challenging. So it's okay. Number 4, it's perfectly feasible. It's perfectly feasible. And the degree of feasibility is perfect, perfectly feasible. Number 5, it's achievable, but it's stretching it. And we said that stretching it is okay. So yes, it's feasible, but it's challenging. Number 6, there's no way you can do it. There's no way you can do it. And what is the degree of feasibility? It's completely unfeasible. Number 7, it's borderline. It's borderline. It means it's something in between. It's borderline. So yes, it is feasible, but it's challenging. So it's okay. Number 8, tall. It's a tall order. It's a tall order. And again, as we discussed, a tall order is okay, feasible, but challenging. Number 9, it will take forever. It will take forever. It means it would not happen. So it's completely unfeasible. It's not feasible. Number 10, it will cost an arm and a leg. Again, completely unfeasible. Not feasible. Okay. Now these are some situations that we are going to read and see if they are feasible or not. If they are perfectly feasible, feasible but challenging, or not feasible. Okay, number 1. The machine parts are tricky to paint with brushes or to spray. Why don't we dye them in paint? So, what do you think? أجزاء الآلة صعب إن احنا ندهنها بالبرش أو إن احنا نسبراي نرشها. Why don't we dye them in paint or dip them in paint نحطهم كده ويطلعوا مدهونين. Yeah, so this is perfectly feasible. Okay. Number 2. The steel bar is 100 millimeter in diameter. نص القطر بتاعها 100 millimeter. Couldn't it be cut by hand using a hacksaw? Okay, so compared to the tolerance of being within 20, then 100 millimeters is okay. So yes, it's okay. But not perfect again. So yes, it is okay, but of course there are other solutions for this. To be more accurate, for this 100 millimeter steel bar to be cut accurately, of course we can use other things, but this is acceptable because its tolerance is 100 millimeter. Number 3. Silver is good conductor. Why don't we use it for wiring instead of copper? It's perfect. So conductor means that it can transmit energy, whether heat or electricity. So yes, silver, just like copper, they are both good conductors. So it's okay. So yes, it's perfect. It's perfectly feasible to use silver instead of copper for wiring, since both of them are good conductors. Number 4. Instead of putting lead ballast in the helium balloon basket, why don't we use water containers? Okay, lead is, of course, you know it. It is رصاص. So the lead is رصاص. Ballast are heavy metals that are used to ensure the stability of something. Like the anchor of the ship, for example. They are heavy material that ensures the stability of something. So in the helium balloon basket, في المنطاد الهوائي اللي بيبقى كتير في الهواء ده, they said that instead of putting lead ballast in the helium balloon basket, why don't we use water containers? بدل ما نستخدم ballast اللي هي الماتيريال اللي من الرصاص اللي علشان تخلي الهيليوم بالون باسكت دي على الارض وما تطيرش, ليه ما نستخدمش water containers? So what do you think? Is it okay, perfect, or not okay? I think it's perfect because it's going to do the same job. So it is perfect. The water containers are still going to work as stability entrances for this one. So yes, it's perfect. Number 5. They have used the wrong type of fuel in the engine. I'll suggest stripping the whole thing down and cleaning it by hand. Okay, stripping here means to remove most or all the parts of a thing. هم استخدموا نوع فيول, نوع وقود مختلف, فهو عايز يفكك كده المكنة كلها وينظفها بالإيد. Okay, it's okay, but it's not perfect because you can clean it with other things. انت ممكن تنظفها بحاجات تانية مش لازم بالإيد. So it is not perfectly feasible, but it's okay. It's okay, but it would not be cleaned perfectly as it would if we used other things. So number 5, it's okay, it's feasible, but it's challenging. Number 6. They produce 6,000 units per day and normally do a quality check on 100% of them. Couldn't they check every single product? Of course not. So this is not feasible. Not feasible at all. They produce 6,000 units per day in the one day. So it's not possible for them to check all the 6,000 in one day. So there are lots of units per day to be checked every day. So it's not feasible. Okay. So that's it. This section we're not going to have any assignments. So you are not to solve number 10. So this is it for this skill. انا اسفه لو في بعض التقطعات لما باجي اتكلم، لاني ساعات بوقف التسجيل لما بتكون حاجه معديه في الشارع. لو لحقت يعني وجيت اقفل، لو لحقت قبل ما الحاجه دي تدخل في التسجيل بقوم جاي قافله التسجيل وبعدين اكمل تاني. But from now on I'm going to record to you at night so that I would not hear any sound near me. Okay, so that's it for the skill, and inshallah just study well, and I assure you that you're going to get good marks. Goodbye.